My name is Xavier, and welcome to Surviving Mars Space Race, the first expansion for Surviving Mars that adds a whole slew of new things, including additional competing colonies that you can interact with while you're building your colony on Mars. I got this key from Paradox yesterday, put a couple of hours into it, and I was impressed. Although I will say, I was impressed with Surviving Mars to begin with. It's one of my favorite new games for this year. If you have no idea what it is, it's a colony building game, just like a base building simulator, a city building style game, but it's on Mars. And one of the fantastic things about it is that it's actually really well balanced and difficult if you're into extreme difficulty. Most base building games suffer from just being boring and repetitive over time. You can be creative, but if you want to have a challenge in them, like I do, you come up a little short, but not so in Surviving Mars. In any event, I'm going to go through the new space race things here and the bigger changes in just a second. If you find that you like this game, though, or the expansion, I'll put links in the description down below where you can pick them up and simultaneously support the channel in the process. So very big thank you to everyone who uses those links. It really helps to fuel my addiction to playing Surviving Mars till 4 in the morning so I could make videos like this. But let's jump into a new game here. Also, thanks again to Paradox for the key. Always appreciate working with Paradox, and also always appreciate playing Surviving Mars. So one of the newer things here is they've added in Space Race Brazil and Japan. I think, but I'm not sure about this, I think International Mars Mission is new, but that's just a basic addition. That's not part of the expansion. One of the things they've changed is they've added a unique building for every single sponsor. So as I'm playing with Japan, our unique building is going to be Automatic Metals Extractor. And that's a metal extractor that doesn't require a workforce of people, which, if you watched my old series on this game, that was something I really struggled with on 900% difficulty, was getting a decent source of metals before we ran out. I had to be hyper efficient. And we had to get colonists in to even get the metals. Here, we won't have that. Additionally, we're going to start with Wasp drones. That's our unique thing as Japan. They're just faster flying drones. And one of the other things they added was supply pods. So you can see Brazil's bonus here is large supply pods. And what those are, instead of having to send your rocket back and forth from Mars to Earth, you can buy a one-time supply pod from Earth and send it to Mars. It's single use. It doesn't make a return trip. It just delivers a bunch of goods, but it does cost 100 million for that single trip. So it's a very expensive way to get some emergency things if you really desperately need them. But Brazil's bonus, you can see here, they have bigger supply pods. So those are two of the bigger mechanics changes in that they've added supply pods and unique buildings for each individual faction. A lot of interesting one here as well. So what's this Mars one? Advanced Stirling Generator. Generates power and can protect from cold waves. That's pretty advanced. Make the game much easier. Corporate Office. Employs workers and generates funding. I'm just going to go through a couple of them here. Low G Lab. A research building that is built outside domes and reduces the cost of biotech and physics techs. Fascinating. Huh. And then here's another one, Solar Array on Space Y, a large cluster of solar panels that has lower maintenance costs but are vulnerable to dust storms. Interesting. In any event, we're going to go for Japan. I'm going to talk about my strategy for this in a second, but essentially I'm going to go for a no-drone hub game that is based on rovers, because one of Japan's bonuses is the cost and weight of rovers are reduced by 50%. And additionally, we have Exploring a Sector grants research points. And I'll get into that in just a second. Let me just queue up the game here so we can get into the actual gameplay. And there's a reason why I want to take that bonus. You'll see what it is in a second, though. So Futurist over here is what we're going to go for. I'm going to make the highest difficulty challenge I can possibly make. This gives us 30% faster breakthrough technology research and also immediate bonus of sensor towers no longer requiring power or maintenance, which is going to go hand in hand with our Exploring a Sector research, which also goes hand in hand with one more thing. One of the achievements I'll show you in a second. We're going to go for Metatron here because it sounds like Megatron, and Megatron looks kind of Japanese. And then lastly, as always, we're going to turn on every single difficulty in the game and none of the more easier ones, just like before. One thing I will note is that they've added a bunch of new things here. So we're starting at 860% difficulty. You can go well over 1,000 now. Not sure what the cap is exactly. I know it's at least 1060. I think before the cap was like 915 or something like that. This is an interesting thing here, tech variety. So for those of you who play the game a lot, this will kind of spice things up, but it's not as ridiculously prone to game-breaking things as Chaos Theory. Chaos Theory was a truly randomized tech tree, whereas tech variety is mostly randomized, but some of the more crazy things don't appear super early or late. Like that one time I played a campaign and I got the repeatable research for like one day that gave me $1 billion. That was overpowered. In any event, this is going to be our start. Let's get in, and I'll show you guys a whole bunch of the new mechanics that I like quite a bit. But first, no drone hub as per our challenge. And let's go back and buy a transport. Now, each one of these guys usually weighs 10,000. Since we're Japan, they're only 5,000 kilograms. So we can actually fit 4 rovers. We have 1 transport, 2 explorers, and 2 commanders, bringing us to 0. And let's rename this thing to, let's say, Hadouken, we're going to call it. Hadouken 2, for no good reason. And off we go. For a colony site, I had decided to go, there was one at 2 that I wanted to go to. It's not that one. It was like 985% difficulty. This one here. All right, this is going to be Elysium Beta. 2 north, 176 east. It has pretty much everything here in 985 and go. 985% difficulty. So, I know one of my favorite things about this game is commercials. No, hold on.
Welcome to Mars.
Keep listening.
Keep listening. My name is Xavier. Keep watching this video. But no, really. It lags out a little bit in the beginning because it has to spawn other colonies. But one of my favorite things about this game is the radio, and they added 2 new channels. We have Mars Vision, and we've got Quantum Sonics, complete with their own advertisements and radio hosts and all. If they made a DLC just adding radio stations, I would buy it. 100%. Actually, I'd ask Paradox for a key, and they give it to me in 5 seconds, probably. But if I wasn't a content creator, I would buy it. I mean, I love the radio stations, and 2 more is welcome. Oh, I miss Kim Tai, friends. I miss Kim Tai. Not so much with Pana Masculine, though. But in any event, let's go through some of the new... Oh, let's just turn this down a little bit so it's easier to focus. There we go. So some of the new things. Number 1, biggest thing, of course, planetary view. So here you can see this is our colony. And we can see the colony of the US over here. We can get some basic statistics. We have a -5 standing with them. Oh, they have 0 colonists, 0 buildings. You can see how well they're doing. You can see what they have for advanced researches, or resources rather. And you can see their research. Now, you can do 2 things. 1, get them on the horn, and if you have a landed rocket, you can offer them resources. I haven't done this yet, but I imagine your rocket flies over to them, unloads and all that good stuff. I don't think you can see their colony, but I could be mistaken. We can trade with them. We can exchange technologies if we get good standing. We can request resources, or we can insult them to lower our standing. So some pretty basic... What is this over here? Oh, that's just the command center. We go in here, that shows us what we have and what our current production is. Okay, that's a nice feature. Because I know in Civ 5, for the diplomacy, you need to know what you have. So as you have it open, you always want it to go in and see your stats. So that's nice that they added that. And then we can see what we have and what we want to trade and whatnot. But if we don't want to do a contact, we can go into covert ops. And here, we can steal drones, steal technologies, recruit their colonists, which, since I'm playing on super hard, we can't get specialists, but I could steal specialists from other people. Isn't that interesting? We can also sabotage buildings to delay milestone and expedition progress. This is what I'm going to go and talk about right now. You can see we got 4 things over here, or no, 3 colonies total in addition to our 4th one. So it's a pretty basic trade and diplomacy, but I like it. It just brings the world to life a little bit. Now, as for those milestones, this is one of the more exciting things for me. So there's 2 things. Number 1, we have milestones. Number 2, we have mission profile. So let's start with milestones. These are, for each game you play, only one civilization or one faction or whatever you want to call them can get these. So the first person to scan an anomaly gets 250 science. First person to launch a rocket gets 250, and so on and so forth. So there's a little bit of competition there. I like this actually a lot. I'm not sure how it's going to play out or how important it's going to be. It might just be something that happens in the background, but I like to have additional goals that are competitive. Always like that about Civ 5 when you're competing for wonders. Oh, we've got a commercial. Got to go to Quantum Sonics. Let's check out the new channel, shall we? There we go. Some pretty upbeat, like, Mars techno, I suppose. In any event, the next thing is mission profile. Now, this just shows you your current challenges, difficulty settings, and goals all in one clean screen. Additionally, there is now 5 things you can unlock. Now, I don't believe these are competitive. So I think this is just for you, and you can get all of these over time without having to race against them. And part of my strategy for this playthrough was to get the early autonomous sensors, even though we can research it, so it's not a big bonus, but we can build it literally on day 1. This will allow us to build sensor towers that no longer require power or maintenance. Keep in mind, we can also explore a sector. Each exploring sector grants us research points. The more sensors we have, the more we'll explore sectors to get research. And if we build 6 of those sensor towers right away, we unlock our very first milestone, I think they're called. And this is going to give us 15 immediate free drone prefabs, which is more than we can use and very fantastic. Beyond that, we have build machine parts, polymer factory, electronics, which gives us a free Martian university. This is another thing I struggled with building in the past because it was super difficult to get. I think it's like 30 electronics to build that. So this way you could build the infrastructure to have production and then get a free Martian university, which is very nice. Over here we have 40 Martian-born specialists, and we get 200 sponsor research. So that's 200 free research every day forever once we get that. Down here is something we'll definitely be going for with our sensor tower strategy, which is to deep scan 100 sectors, and we get a free Mega Trigon Dome prefab. Can you believe it? That is going to be an insane amount of free resources for our little strategy here. We're going to have to research deep scanners, which might be challenging, but if we can push towards that, that would be amazing to get a free Mega Tridon. And I'm pretty sure you can build this before you even unlock it. I think that's how... Yeah, you definitely can, because that's how all the other prefabs work that you buy from Earth. And lastly, if we produce 2,000 advanced resources, we then get $2 billion. So depending on what your strategy is, I think this is pretty interesting. Like, our strategy is to build sensor towers and combine these 2 things here for some nice bonuses. But you could do something else where you want to go for a production run and you build your parts factories and whatnot, get your free university, produce a lot of resources and whatnot, and get these bonuses, extra money, and it just varies your early game strategies quite a bit, as well as the milestones kind of leading you in directions you might otherwise not go because you're just playing by yourself in a super peaceful land. Not sure, this radio station sounds a little bit loud to me. In any event, what we're going to do here is use our first 2 probes, and I'm probably going to do a brief let's try here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do multiple episodes on this or not. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more. It's going to be highly edited, though, and I'll mostly just cut back and explain what I've done and why. What I'm building here and there, rather than doing an unedited one that takes... It's just kind of boring, I think. But to start out, we definitely want to throw out our orbital probes in the biggest zones, because one of the things I struggled with in the past is being... Sure, have high elevation up here for extra wind, but we only are locked into what's in these 6 tiles until we can build a tunnel, and tunnels are expensive. So rather than be locked into that, I want to go to the biggest area with the most terrain possible, which is up here. So let's actually scan in the middle here. Ooh. Oh. Hold the phone, friends. There's a milestone for scan an anomaly. No, find water on Mars. There it is. I remember reading that. So before we scan again, in case we find water, let's make sure we have a research chosen. RC transports harvest resources faster. And maximum storage is increased by 15. Let's do that one to start. And then, just in case, let's go for physics as well, I think. Like, I don't think we're going to need the rocket space whatsoever. So we'll keep those two things queued up. And while this might be some soothing sounds for the future, I want to go back to the official Mars channel. Kim Tai-yi? Kim Tai-yi, where are you at, friend? What? Kim Tai-yi? What the? Oh, is it Red Frontier? No. I can't remember where Kim Tai-yi... I thought he was the Mars channel. No, that's Panamask. Let's go to Free Earth for a bit, huh? There we go. Surf music. Nothing like it when building a colony on Mars. In any event, now that we've got our tech research, let's throw our next orbital probe here and pray for luck. And wouldn't you know, there's the water I was talking about. Find water on Mars. 250 science as our milestone is achieved. We're the first one to get it. Voila. Just like that, right out of the gate. All right. So this seems like a pretty adequate place to start out. What I'm going to do is lay down a basic infrastructure as soon as I set all of my zones here to explore. So let's explore everything around us, all 9 of those tiles. And then we'll drop down our spaceship. I'm not sure where. Let's think about where we'd put our first dome. I think it's pretty obvious we'd put the dome between the... Ooh, that's very high underground rare metals for 407. This one is low for 444. Here's a great place for our first dome, and then we can have workers work at either one of those mines. And then over here, we actually don't need to build a... What is it called now? Metals extractor, because our special building is the automatic extractor. Oh, you know what? I didn't go through all the new buildings. Let's do that really quick before I throw down the base and start editing up a little bit. So one of the new things is a large wind turbine. So it's basically, a wind turbine was 3 tiles, you can see here. The large wind turbine is 6 tiles. However, it's basically exactly the same. It's just double in every way. Like, it costs double every resource, maintenance is double, the production is double, and it takes double the number of tiles, but it just looks a little bit different, and it's pretty cool looking, actually. So nothing else new there. Over here, aside from our special Japanese building, they've also added small electronics factory and small machine parts factory to the game. And I do remember that being a challenge, because once you get your first dome, you had to save up and build a huge dome if you really wanted to have like a functional dome, and you wanted to have it be like a factory dome / livable residence. And they've alleviated that by allowing small electronics and machine parts factories. I like that a lot. Nothing new in here. Nothing new in there. Nothing new in there. Here we actually have small living quarters that are 3 tiles big. Yes. So there's 3 different levels of houses in the game. They all had a small and a large. Like, these ones are the large ones. Those are, I think, 10 tiles. Yes. However, the basic one never had a small version. We now have the small version, and I have to say, it looks pretty cute. Whoopsie daisy. Let me see if I can get a better view. Sort of. It looks pretty cute. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It's like a little eggshell, like something you'd see in Epcot Center in 1988 or whatever. But that's one thing. And then they've also added small versions of the space bar, the small grocer, and the small art store, interestingly enough. Not a small electronics store, for whatever reason. But they added a small art store. And small, yes, art store, grocer, and space bar, and individual houses. They've really made it so you can make microdomes actually be useful with all these small buildings. I like that a lot. I don't think anything's new here, and I could be mistaken. I don't remember if this large garden was in the game or not. I think it might have been. But I also don't remember this whole tab. I don't remember there being outside decorations. Maybe this was in the game, but I can't remember. But we got beacons here, small monument, large monument. Look how cool this guy looks, huh? And then we got large statue. Yay! That's actually pretty cool. Medium statue. Aw, isn't that cute? What do we got over here? I honor the founders of Mars. Small statue. Obelisk. Whew! That's a large obelisk if I've ever seen one. There's a wide... Ooh, it has our flag on it, too. I like it. All right. Well, I think that's most of the newer things here. So if you were only interested in seeing what the expansion and the new update had to offer, I think that's about it. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a Let's Play here, maybe at least 20 minutes or so, and get into the basics. But I'm very excited, so we can trade with people. We can do covert ops on them. We can see who they like and who they dislike, and we can use... That's why you would use the insult command to get in their favor in that way. We actually have a -19 already with the Blue Sun Corp. Wow, that's bad. -5 over here with US of A. And then over here, we've got a 1 with the Colony of Europe. The Colony of Europe. Amazing. Huh. But between that, between the new mechanics where every faction has their own unique building, oh, you know what? One more thing I didn't show you. The supply pod here. So it used to be that we had the cargo rocket and the passenger rocket, and that was it. But now, we can actually build supply pods. And they're just like these little domed things over here. We don't actually get to see them right there, oddly enough. Maybe they'll patch that in later. But these only have a capacity of 10,000, and they're single use for 100 million. So I don't think you'd want to use these, but if you need to, if sometimes you're just stuck and you need like one polymer, and this is the way to get that at the expense of a lot of money. But this could be a fairly... Ooh, look at that. You can order prefabs of small machine parts factories. They're not even expensive. Wow, look at that. 3,500 versus 10,000. You could get off to a much earlier but much smaller start. Yeah, they've definitely streamlined quite a bit in the game. They've removed the super spiky difficulty issues, like where you just ran out of certain things and couldn't get them with the pods. They've added some more radios. They've added the Planetary map. They've added some variants over here with the mission goals. And I think if I were to go back to the menu, there's more challenge modes as well if you're into achievements. You basically play a scenario towards an objective to see if you can kind of check them all off the list. I'm not a super big fan of those, but they're interesting in city building games sometimes. And then over here we got Milestones, and I think that's most of the things. I think they've also added a lot of new visuals, but I don't know how much and where they've added them. But if that's all you're interested in, there you go. Once again, there's a link in the description down below if you want to pick it up. I highly recommend this game if you're into city buildings or city building simulations. It's really, really well put together, runs flawlessly, always 60 FPS no matter what, super smooth, 0 crashes, and I've had a lot of fun with it. And I'll just do like maybe 20 minutes here, and thanks very much. And here is our initial setup as we fly on in with our very first rocket, friends. Japan is making a landing on Mars for the first time. Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Ouvrir la porte, and out come our 97 drones. They were actually ready to go. Now, I do have 2 mods already. Just to make life easier here, I've installed the mods for Auto Explorer on the Explorers, and also over here for Auto Gather right there. And we unload at nearest, and generally the way this works, if you go right into the middle of the screen, you hit unload right there. It's going to use this, and that's where it's going to unload it for as its waypoint. Those mods are very, very helpful. You can see now, I've laid out our 4 sensor towers up here out of the way. They don't need power because of our research, so they're all just sitting up there. Oh, we've already researched transport optimization? Wow, that was fast. Not sure exactly how we did that, but it sounds good. Let's go for drone hubs next. We're already working on extractor amplification right now. I want to go through the drone line to start out, get as many drone-focused things as we can. Look at these new Japanese flying drones. Oh, look at that. Pew, pew. No more line of sight issues with them, huh? I like how they hover on the ground, too. They look so nice. Oh, look at these guys. Yeah, they open up their back there and they throw in the metals. This game looks beautiful. Oh, it looks beautiful. In any event, so I did... Okay, hold on. There was one thing I forgot to do. It's the... I didn't place my fuel refinery yet or the water extractor because... until you land the spaceship, you actually don't get access to those, but we'll do that in just a second here. In any event, I went with 4 large solar panels, and the reason is I want to put all of my Stirling generators inside of a small dome so I can leave them open and they won't get cluttered with dust. And I think it's going to be a much more efficient way than just spamming them out here. I do plan on buying a whole lot more of these guys, but it's going to be far more efficient to run them inside of a dome than outside, and then I can leave them open. And then, so for now, we'll just use those 4 large solar panels as a power source. I got a battery over here to store the extra power. This will be 20 total power produced during the daytime. This will take 5 power for the concrete extractor. I put it this way so we could make a second one over here to get maximum use of this deposit. Basically mine it completely and utterly out. Over here, our metals extractor will use 10 power. So between the two, they're going to use 15 around the clock. This probably won't be enough. We might have to build 1 or 2 more to keep the power up through the night. And then I've got over here 2 metal depots for these guys to deliver to really close. And then right here, I got 2 concrete depots for them to get to. I'm going to move these guys a little bit closer as well so they can cover everything here. And that's about it. So the next step of the project is to see what this guy's up to. He's researching the anomalies for technologies, which is actually very helpful if I were to go with those first. But since we only have those 2 zones, it's not a big deal. How fast are we scanning over here? 13%. It's because we have yet to build these, but a lot of initial stuff to build up. And then let's go, of course, let's speed up a bit. Let's go for our fuel production, because that's going to be the next thing. Fuel refinery. I really do like the... Ooh. Hold the phone, friends. Scan an anomaly. That was another milestone. We were the first people to do it. So we got another 250 free science. That's nice, and we're going to explore some more. Additionally, what we found was new techs.
To the barren environs of the red planet that meets the eye.
Subsurface heating and low-G hydrosynthesis. Those are not bad, by the way. I will take subsurface heating as our next tech if we need it. New building fuel refinery polymer. We don't need that so much, though. So we'll leave this as it is for now. Let's throw in 1 more thing over here, and then it's basically time to let the game run for a smidge. And the thing we're going to throw in is power cable. You know what, actually? The easier way to do this, to make it perfectly symmetrical, let's put in a water extractor that we won't build. And at least that way we know where it is. So it's 2 tiles back. Actually, I'm just going to put the thing in. Just going to put it in. Beautiful. And then now that we have it there, I'll remove it in a second. Let's put this refinery in. Yes, right next to the water. Fantastic. And then the last one is the moisture evaporator, which we can put in right here. And then all of those pipes should be connectable with pipes from here to there. Beautiful. And then they don't really need to go anywhere just yet, so we'll leave that. And that thing's basically set up, of course, except for the fact that we need electricity here. So we'll just run a power cable right along. Good enough. Anywho's, we're going to let this run for a little bit, and then we'll come back when some stuff has happened. But for now, our transport's over here loading up this metal and delivering it over in this location. He will automatically go around and find more deposits of metal that are floating around on the ground. And load them up and then drop them over here, which is great. Now, it seems to me that they got rid of the batteries on the rovers. That's a Japanese bonus. Because I don't see these guys running low on power here at all. I think they might have either got rid of it or it's an undocumented Japanese bonus. But either way, not bad. Not a bad little colony, to be honest. Except, of course, that Japan has this ridiculous pink. What is up with that? Oh my lord. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But we'll jump back in a few minutes when something happens. Here we go. So one thing I did was I shift-clicked here on these towers to get them all on priority. Our last one is in right now, and that's going to give us our 15 drone prefabs. I should have done that a little bit sooner. But with those 15 drone prefabs, we can add up to 8 drones in each one of these RC commanders. Fantastic. Now, we still have a bunch of additional drones, but I believe that they can get set into this command pod. It used to be that they had buttons up here for it. Salvage, change priorities, send on expedition. I don't seem to see where it is anymore. Unpin. Oh, is it? Yeah, it used to be right here. Okay. Well, if we come over here and we look at... No, it's not a dome. Maybe a building? No. Not sure how to do that. I'm pretty sure that used to be in there, but now it seems to be gone. Transportation, maybe? Yeah, well, there's a rocket. And we do have the ability to remove them from the commanders, but we apparently can't remove them from our rockets. Huh. You used to be able to do that, I'm almost positive. Maybe there's a technology you need to make that happen. But I also built up 4 more panels because we're going to need power to run these guys tomorrow. And once we get the power up tomorrow, we will indeed run all of those things. And once this has already actually started to run our concrete generator, making the concrete over here for our metals extractor. And this is going to be nice. You can see over here, I already have 6 sensor towers, 6 out of 6. There's our 15 drone reward. Super awesome. I also have one more mod that changes the speed. I think by default it's 1, 2, 3. With the mod, it's 1, 3, 10. We also got... Ooh. Actually, we got a breakthrough discovered from one of the technologies. Hull polarization. Buildings require maintenance less often. That's not bad, and it's only 1,400 instead of 2,000 because we have a 30% bonus. I don't think we need... Probes are cheaper and can deep scan. That would be one way. Hold on. What do we get for that exactly? Probes are right here. Deep scan. If we could get 50 probes, we could get a mega trigon dome. No, it's 100 sectors. So we actually need 100 probes. Never mind. But they're cheaper, though. How much do they cost again? A drone is 100 million. So of 100 of them... It's going to be 10 billion. Okay, well, that's not a path to victory necessarily, or it could be if I went economically. But in any event, we also got extractor over here, which unlocked that. I think we can throw it into the list if nothing else, and we'll just let things go for a little bit longer here. Explode over there. There's a little bit of resources, nothing big, but looking good. I think as of today, this should be producing 1 water, which it is, which would then give this... Oh, you know what? Look at that. My pipe was insufficiently laid. Like a bad designer. I needed to go there to there, and I messed it up. But that should get done almost instantaneous. Look at all those flying drones. Yep, it's done. And now we're functional. So we get 1 water being produced. That is then going into producing fuel. This fuel building requires 1 water, so that's exactly what we need. Here's our solar panels producing power, but we have yet to get the... Let's put the power accumulator higher, because it's only 2 concrete. Right now, it's all going to the closer thing over here, which is the metals extractor. We really wanted that built before the morning, so we didn't waste this power. But regardless, we'll be all right. Just 1 more night of non-production. And with all 6 of these probes going, or those scanners, we should... be very quick on the map here. If I look over there, scanning, 69%. Sensor tower boost, 306%. Now, if you spread out those scanning towers, they help you more at nearby zones. So there is something to be said for putting them like all around here, and you could scan even faster. But it doesn't matter too much, because in the long run, we're going to have to scan the whole map. So I'm not too concerned with it.
Sector scanned.
Yeah, there's our first sector. We found nothing, but let's see. Oh, our battery is actually done. We are charging up at a surplus of 20 while the solar panels are up. And then let's see if I run this on 10. Will we make it through the night? Down here, yeah, we're hitting the night now. They're gone. We're running at -15 during the night. So yes. What is that, 8 hours? We should go straight through the night. Oh, never mind. Our automatic metals extractor just came online. Now we're drawing 20, which is still not bad. Problem is, 1 battery can only output 20, so we can run We can't run all of these things at once, which is fine. We can have the concrete off at night, I suppose. Because we definitely want these two things running. And so we can get our rocket fueled up. It needs 50 fuel before we can launch back. Now, oh, here we go. We got drone swarm. Ooh. So drone swarm doesn't really matter unless we want to build drone hubs. Which we're not going to do. This, however, generate 100 research per soul for each explorer. Okay, we'll definitely go for that next. I don't necessarily want adapted probes, although deep scanning wouldn't be bad. And having maintenance less is good from the get-go. It didn't really need subsurface heating, but we'll put this like this for now. Fantastic. And then lastly, what do we find down here? Ooh, what is this? Vista improves the comfort of all residences when in the radius of a dome. Comfort boost 10. Oh, that is super cool. That must be a new thing. I mean, it's definitely a new thing. I don't know if it's from a patch or the expansion, though. But if you build a dome in here, you have this beautiful surrounding and everyone would be happy. That is really a nice addition. Really, really nice. I like that a lot. In the event, not much is going on here, so we'll just let things play out for a little bit. Decided to build an additional concrete extractor here. And what I'm going to do is put both the concrete extractors on high priority so that at night, actually, you know what? A better way to do it would be to put the metals extractor at low priority. So at nighttime, the metal extractor will go off and the concrete will run through the night. We've got 200 metals already and only 33 concrete. And the next thing we need to build is that dome up over here. We found a little bit of stuff over there just now. Not a big deal. We finished subsurface heating. I did unlock one new breakthrough down here. Autonomous hubs. Drone hubs no longer require power or maintenance. I suppose my no drone hub idea is out the window because now I've got drone hubs that don't require power or maintenance, and we get 2 additional drones with maximum drone level increased if I were to get them. Seems like it would be smart to buy them at that rate. Plus, we've got more drones than I can even come close to using right now. Even though these little commanders can do 8, that's nowhere near enough. Yeah, they're actually completely maxed out. And we never did get our extra drones over here, and I can't assign them for whatever reason like I used. Yeah, at nighttime, you can see our metals extractor shuts off, and these guys just keep running, producing that sweet, sweet concrete. So already, we're on day number 5 as of just now, and look at all of the metals. That's beautiful. We got tons of concrete incoming now as well. And I think our fuel is up to 31 out of 50. So we should be able to launch in 2 days here on Sol 7. Not a bad start. And then looking at the map as well. Ooh, what's this next one we've unlocked? Wind turbine upgrade. Well, we're not going to use wind turbines at all. In fact, I want to build a power hub specifically for generators and send a rocket back for more generators. More Stirling generators. That's probably where I'm going to get most of my power. Because one of the difficulty options I added was massive amounts of dust storms and dust, or what are those, sandstorms? Those things are terrible. Dust devils and sandstorms. That's what it is.
Early photos of the surface showed a stone formation that looked just like a man's face. However, this turned out to be shadows cast from a giant rock, together with the human propensity to search for faces in non-human objects. A
Sector scanned.
Called pareidolia. Oh dear. It's definitely time for the next song.
The new radio hosts are not as professional as the old ones, I will say. But they're kind of a bit dopey and Now this, if I ever wanted to build space colonies, this is the song I would want to listen to while it was happening. In any event, in 1 day, we're going to launch our rocket here. Then we're going to throw in our first dome. I decided to go for the basic dome right between both of those connections. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Although, yeah, we can't quite get it down there. Look at this. Put it down there, everyone would be happy, but I don't want it down there. What a weird place for it, right? Interesting, though, that that is an option. In any event, we're going to put this guy right there. Now, because we've got 1 million drones on our drone hubs, we can pull someone over here who's within range of our universal stockpile, and then we'll start unloading things over here, and I think that's going to be it for this. What a weird song this is. Look at our little colony. I'm liking this a lot. I love this game, I have to say, and I really like all the changes to it. I do feel like they've made it a lot easier by removing the massive, massive spikes in difficulty. Because what killed me before many times in the highest challenge difficulty... Well, you know, a lot of things with Japan, actually. So I couldn't bring multiple... Oh, did we actually run out of power? No, it's just telling me that because we don't have enough to power this at night, which I realize. But anyway, when I was playing before, we didn't have reduced weight drones, so we couldn't build one of all three. And here we could actually bring 4. So we had issues just having drones doing work. Additionally, we had issues getting initial science because I had a lot less money playing as Russia. Oh, here we go. Anomalies found 1. We've now done Explore AI, which gives us another 100 research. Fantastic. This gives us drones and rovers move 50% faster. That's beautiful. Let's throw that in. And then we'll queue up the autonomous drone hub after that. And I think I'll go for the probes. And then I think actually in engineering, there's one that ships require less fuel, if I had bothered to research it. But yeah, when I was playing as Russia, we had 4 billion to start rather than 6 billion. So I couldn't... There was very little room to maneuver. And we had no additional space. And we didn't have our unique building over here to also do the mining of metals. So I had to do everything just based on what little metals that I found on the ground. And then the first dust storm would come in before we could even launch our first rocket, which, by the way, we're about to do in a couple of seconds. Oh, there we go. Yep. And the other great thing about having all these sensors is we now get massively advanced warning. 3 days, 3-hour warning due to 6 sensors. That's nice. That is very nice. I feel like this is not a hard start. This pretty much takes care of every single possible issue I had in my prior campaign. Oh, look at that. We were 1 tile away here. You know what? Once we launch this thing, which, by the way, we're almost about to do, 1 more fuel. There it is right there. We can see it flying in. Let's get zoomed right in on this little dope. And there you go. And launch. Fare ye well, friends. I feel like that's probably a good place to end this episode. We just got another 250 science for being the first person to launch. Wow. Concrete, low and very high. Whoa, cold wave. The following buildings will freeze. Water tanks and outside buildings that are not operational for more than a sol. Okay. Well, we have 3 days warning. Because of that, we're down to 2 days, 18 hours. I did actually research the subsurface heater, I believe. What an interesting song. Yeah, it's right there. I'm not sure where it is to build, or if it's even worth building, because the initial cold wave isn't such a big deal. It's probably under the infrastructure. There it is, subsurface heater. So this takes 5 machine parts. We only have 3. It also consumes water. So basically, these things are going to freeze. Anything that's it's not running is going to freeze during the winter. We can keep most things running. However, with the power that we have at nighttime, we can't run everything. But if our fuel refinery is frozen, that's actually probably fine, because we're not going to need it till the rocket comes back. And then we can shut off our moisture evaporator, because it's not doing anything if the fuel's not producing. And plus, it needs maintenance soon anyway, so we can save 2 metals by shutting this off. We're still going to have to use those metals to clean it up later, but it's not going to get any worse than it already is. And just for aesthetic reasons. Oh, here's a trade pad. Offers resources for export to other colonies on Mars. Rival colonies will send trade offers only if important and export resources are set. Accessible only for rockets belonging to other colonies. Oh, interesting. Huh. Well, that's so cool. That's going to just make everything look fun. Let's see if we can't get this pad here right where we had our initial... Well... Yeah. Not sure what's blocking up there. Oh, you know what it is? The rocket hasn't actually left. I don't think. I think it's still technically flying up out of the sky until it's gone. There's going to be a blocking object there, I believe. Unless I'm mistaken and it's something else, but new texts are available to research.
Environs of the red planet that meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
Look at this. We just opened up like tons of stuff. We got soil adaptation, which allows us to build farms for our biomes. We got decommission protocol, allows us to clear salvage and destroy buildings. We got the drone hub, not that we need it because we can just order some. We don't need to build it. The Sterling generator, which I actually do want to build. Boy. Ooh, here's another one. Increases research provided by sponsor. That's going to be a big one for me. We're going to go straight to that. Look, we're almost done hull polarization as well, which reduces maintenance quite a bit. Wow. So much fun. Such good pacing in this game. And I'm not even sure what... You know what? Let's get that off. Let's go for the drone rovers and then this thing over. I can't even stop myself and stop the episode. I love it so much. Let's go over here and do landing pad. Just want to get it in. Ah, yes, I was right. Let's make it a little bit closer than before so it actually hits the center of that biome or the dome over there, and then we can unload into it. So something like right there. Fantastic. Ooh, this is just extra concrete. Yeah, 10. Can we do a trade pad right here? I'm not sure if this is a smart place to put it. I think so, though. Just side by side. Oh, no, one more down. There we go. Side by side rockets. Ooh, that's going to be cool. In any event, there you go. Our dome is 38 concrete away, but otherwise is fully stocked up. We've got 2% on Hadouken 2 getting back to Earth. If I look over here, we're not going to buy a rocket, that's for sure. We still have 3.7 billion in funding. We could buy a supply pod if I really wanted to, but they bring so little and I don't desperately need anything, so we'll wait on that. I'm not quite sure what I would want to bring back. Maybe a drone hub, just because we get the extra drones. Or 500, 150 versus an RC commander that's also 500, 150, but the drone hub can command 80 drones, whereas this can command only 8. And I don't know if they ever get upgraded or not. I can't remember if there's a tech for that later. However, one drone hub would be nice. We get, I think they come with 6 drones, so maybe they come with 8. And then we already have 7 doing nothing. So probably I would build one drone hub. Maybe even grab like a small machine parts factory. Small electronics factory. Maybe polymer too.
Above the hot crimson soil.
Hot crimson soil. Isn't Mars like really cold? So it should be like freezing crimson soil. I think she just wanted to say hot crimson soil. And then I want to bring back a bunch of Sterling generators to put into our service dome that I haven't even laid out or where I'm going to put it yet. But anywho's, welcome to Surviving Mars, the space race under the hot, hot Martian crimson soil. Hot. Anyway, if you enjoyed the game and you want to pick it up, link in the description down below where you can buy it for Steam and support the channel. Same thing for the expansion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. There's a lot of things going on the channel right now, so I can't do everything. It's really just a matter of what people want to see and what people watch. But I love this game. And at least I wanted to show off the expansion. I think they did a great job on the expansion. They filled out just all these things. All these little things I had issues with. Oh, extra music is fantastic. I barely even showed it off.
Mama, you rest your bones, let your fingertips go down easy, sweet like honey, honey. Mama gonna let it hold you straightly, got so cold while you're waiting.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. This is our initial setup as we fly on in with our very first rocket, friends. Japan is making a landing on Mars for the first time. Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. We've railed our port, and out come our 97 drones.